We are back with round 6 of the Wixoss Summer. I did it again. Autumn Ceremony. October Ceremony hosted by Carta Magica. We got the mono white from last round against a Tamago center. A little bit different than the Tamago center we saw a couple rounds ago. Plays a little bit differently, but for the most part, still a Tamago center. Looks like there's a little bit of confusion here. Or a little bit of debate here. Looks like there might have been a judge call. Potentially. So it looks like there was definitely indeed a judge call here. It was like forgot to grow into level 1 and then just immediately straight into Cat. It's interesting. So I wonder what's happening here. It looks like with this, and there being information shown or known because of Haket, been chosen that there is just going to be a shuffle. So confused what's happening. Oh, so because he went straight to main phase without growing, being forced to skip his main, basically skip his grow, lost the grow phase, and go straight to the opposing player's turn. That's rough. That's still unfortunate for the for that. So to fully explain what happened in that entire instance, the Tamago player went straight to main phase, played Haket, completely forgetting to grow the Tamago. Judge was called, and ruling, since basically information was shown, I would assume, grow phase was skipped. Haket returns to hand, deck is shuffled because of information known. And since obviously he can't grow anymore, turn player passes. Turn player has to pass in that situation. So that's really rough to go this long and then just get that in the end. But hey, we're still at the undefeated tables. Things happen. Nerves get to you. I ain't gonna fault the guy, I understand. But nonetheless, we'll see the Haket return to the field, rearrange deck, rearrange the top three anywhere where they so please within the top or bottom. Please don't tell me you have another judge call here. I'm just going to go to the BRB screen until I figure out what's going on, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with round 6. So it looks like it was just a misinterpretation of costs and abilities happening. So it was just a random drain issue that just happened. But again, nerves are running high. So the cat's moving 3 to the bottom. So going to attack, Shakori is getting banished by the cat. Attacking a cat, swinging in face, seeing a Lynx for the burst, paying the cost to remove or to return one of the Hakets to hand, and then Larig attack. Servant for that, and on to Lion's turn. Intercharging a Circinus. 2 servants out already for Skewer here. Anj level 1, returning the remaining Haket to hand. Bigfoot here, looking at top 5 for a white Signy. Another Bigfoot. Imp, no burst. Another swing in. Looks like this time it's Notre Dame. Do we do the Do we see the discard for the vanish? I don't know about this one. It's a little bit sus here. But it looks like it's done. It's honestly fine. Servant discard. I mean, he had a hand size of 7, so it's okay. Intercharging Zirconium here. Get the Grow to Tamago 2. Trying to decide how to handle this Haket on the field now. Looks like sending all 3 to bottom. None going back on top. Bruno down center. And CZ in the remaining lane. Again, I love CZ here. It's potential Servant Destroyer 2000. One of my favorite ways to force discards is the randoms into servants. But Bruno will force a discard of the links. CZ swinging into the other Bigfoot, forcing a draw, then a random discard this time. Getting the Servant, 2 for 2 today, and seeing CZ's completely nuke Servants off of the field. No burst there, and then swing in, no additional Servant. And we'll see the Arcwind. We'll just get the draw card, which is fine here. Pick the trash as 2 servants for Alexander here. Similar can be said about Skewer here. Or recall there should be 2. The Akino Rock Grow getting rid of the CZ in the right, back to hand. Burning Curiosity. Do we see the exceed cost? We see the exceed cost getting paid to get rid of the Bruno. I can understand the want for it because with the mono white opening up lanes is early gives you a very aggressive strategy and allows you to set a tempo, but I don't like the use of the Burning Curiosity in these area, like on some of the Signies that's being used. I understand being at your level 3 turn though, especially given that he had a 1 turn advantage, being able to not have to burn any resources to contend with the opposing field because of the little mishap at the beginning of the game. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm allowed to have my dislikes on it. But still an open lane. All lanes are opened now. He took Yuki in the last lane. The 6 limit fulfilled. Now up to Alexander to figure out the defenses here. Options are quite limited, only having access to the level 2 Madoka option here. And the real question is, do we just hold the defenses? I don't think that's smart to do in this situation, but it is what seems to be done. Dark Energy Burst. Bruno. Still no Life Burst coming out here. Random Drain, so at least get a discard out of it. Frozen. Or we'll get a freeze out of it, sorry. No guard, and we'll see the Servant. Baby. So we'll see the Servant burst off of the Crush. This actually matters in this situation. Because if Lion reveals a Servant, then the Larig attack is guarded. Either way, this is a safe turn, knowing what that option is. Or knowing what that Life Burst is now. But we'll see the Tokiyuki. The burst will be a Servant, which means he can grab whatever he wants. And this just... it's just looking to be a complete total wash for the Tamago player just because of that one mishap at level 1. 4-0 Life Cloth in Lion's favor. Lion still commands both of their level 2 assists. Meanwhile, I can't say it's exactly over yet, but I have seen games come back from worse, but this really is not looking good for Alexander here. The Grow, it's Tamago 3. Be the Tamago alt here. So getting a small, being able to see a small glimpse in hand there. Looked like there's a folklore and a couple zirconiums. I could be wrong though. We'll see the zirconium. One zirconium pop out. Random drain. Paying out the random drain. Getting a Tokiyuki. Then replaced in hand. Folklore CZ. Now we do get to see the synergy between CZ and Zirconium. Seeing as both are on the field. So we can get the neg 4K from the CZ, which is quite nice in this sense. Folklore swinging in, no burst there. Zirconium into the Bigfoot. If 2 cards have been discarded. So, you get the full discard. We see a Love Dobby as the burst. Looks like returning the... excuse me. Returning the right Signy to hand. Servant Guard for the Lurig attack. And continuing on with the round, there is an open lane available for the direct swing, but now there's the option for both level 2 assists for Alexander. The question is which way to go about it for Alexander. Mainly because both the options for level 2 assists that he can do here is pretty intensive. Excuse me. It is pretty intensive for Enercost to be able to fully survive for 2 turns straight, barring Lurig attacks. There's a little more to it than just play card turn sideways in the open lane. But it is possible. It is possible to survive off it, but it's going to be a real uphill battle for Tamago. See Sarkinus come out to get a level 1 Signy. See Tokiyuki being selected off of that one. Probably trying to thin the deck to keep as many servants as possible in to maximize the chances for the line, although the servants won't matter given that Tamago is at 0 life cloth. White Heaven being used to clear the rest of the board, now presenting a lethal situation no matter how you look at it. Then we see Exia into Tokiyuki. Machina Smash, paying out the servant, getting rid of the Exia being the biggest problem that does exist on the board. Unfortunately, looking at it, I do think no matter what happens, this is a bit unwinnable at this point. Simply because the level 2 assists that are available, one requires 2 enter, and we do know what the prior list was for, or all the level 2 assists are for Skewer, since we had them on stream last round. Both of his level 2 assists require 2 enter to open a slot. So unless Tamago has a way to clear those lanes without giving one more enter, it's possible. But I don't think that the Tamago list, outside of the Zirconiums we saw, can get rid of things on attack. So we definitely would need to see a field of Zirconium here. Or at least one Zirconium to make another lane. That's entirely what needs to be done. One Zirconium to make another lane, basically. Unless there's no servant in hand. Then I might be just theorizing all of this for nothing. Level 2. So no cards added to hand here, and there is the servant. So we are here for another turn. Ideally, what we want to see here is a Chibi Zirconium or a CZ into an actual Zirconium that will clear the lane in attack phase steps, so that way we don't, or that will clear the lane attack phase steps to clear the last 2 life cloth and then pray no servant. However, we see a CZ did get intercharged away, so I don't think Alexander sees the out, and unless he does not have the Zirconium in hand to fully utilize said out. Ah, I forgot Summer Live Blues was the thing. Yeah, Summer Live Blues definitely opened that last lane up. And then the real question is, can he get that third lane? He can get that third lane. This actually might be more winnable than I'm giving credit for. Oh, maybe? Going to attacks, can't use anything for assist purposes. Open slot, nothing. Oh, baby. So there was another out that I didn't see there. I completely forgot about Summer Live Blues. That was very, very impressive to see after such a rough start for the Tamago player. Being able to walk it back and get the last clutch there on that turn. So, with that, that is the end of round 6. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the last round of the October ceremony. Stay tuned to see who comes up on top.